This is Robert. Hey y'all, this is Robert with Armadillo Outdoor Adventures. This is part 2 of the duck boat build. This is the blind part of the duck boat build. This is where I go into how I make my blind. Here's a clip that shows a little bit of the blind, how it was whenever I started. Of course, I've been using this blind material for a while. I'll show you in the clip what I use. It's the camo netting. I use the stuff with the nylon crosshatch behind it. It's got like a trot line string behind it, and it's got a pretty good size nylon rope running across the top of it. I usually cut it in half long ways and run it around the boat. I hook it to the blind. I just use zip ties to hook it to the blind, and I wrap it around, run plenty long on each end so I can wrap over the motor, over the front end of the boat, the bow of the boat, or the motor. Here's the grass I use for the camo on my blind. I find it around the ponds and around fence lines or anything else. I just cut it loose. I separate it in bundles about that big. Then I take a duck decoy weight and I tie it to my trot line string. I use that like a needle. I'll take the little bundles of the grass that I found. I'll stack them up around the blind itself, and then I kind of sew or weave the duck decoy weight with the trot line string in around it to secure it. I use the grass the way I do because it'll fold in half with the blind, and whenever I drop the blind down and run down the road, I don't lose that much. Now, you'll be adding to it all year. It's not that big a deal. How thick you want your blind is up to you. You can put a ton of this stuff in and make it as thick as you want or as thin as you want. I add to it all year. I always carry a machete with me and a hatchet. That way, while I'm out hunting, I can add to it with some of the vegetation that's around me. I always carry stuff with me. I'll go into that on another video on what I carry with me. But I'm always adding to this, and you're always going to lose a little bit when you're running down the road. But the blind that I've got on my boat's been used for several different blinds through the years. You can see the grass that was already on it. The more you add to it, the more this breaks the wind off of you, and the thicker your blind gets, the less likely the ducks are to see you behind it. I start off light, and just as I go through the year, before you know it, I've got a pretty thick blind, and in late December, the wind's not cutting through it. It's breaking the wind off of me. It's keeping me warm in there. You can run a little heater in that boat and stay nice and comfortable. this is how I camo my blind. You may have other ideas. I'd like to hear about it. This works for me. I'm always open to suggestions. I use this for my rollout blind if I'm walking into a place. I use this for my duck boat blind. I use this in several ways. It's very inexpensive and it's very effective. Thanks for stopping by. All criticism is welcome. Please remember that there are ladies and children watching, so keep it clean. Please remember to shake the hand of a veteran, a police officer, or an emergency worker if you get the chance. Thanks again. I'll see you on the water.